everybody. Welcome to Paws and Claws, the Lost Tales of Pugmire. This is our finale, and we are so excited to have you. Uh, Cameron, who plays Jean-Pierre, is away. He will be back, but we're just going to get started with intros for right now. So, for the last time, Honey and Dice, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, everybody. I'm Honey and Dice, or Honey, and I am playing the meow-nificent Minister of Music, Miss Eartha Kitty.
Alan, who are you and who are you playing?
There we go. Hello, I am Alan C. Johnson, and I will be playing Erasmus Warren's child, the long-standing servant of House Mel.
And Omega, who are you? Who are you playing?
Hey friends, Omega here, also known as the Critical Bard. I am playing Marius Von Nat, or Tristan Von Mao, the hot mess heir of the House of Mao. Now we know this.
Oh, I should have changed your name in the thing. I think
That's
I will.
okay. No, he's still Marius.
Okay. I was like, I
He
should
goes
have
by
made
both.
it Tristan.
It's good.
So for one shared fortune, who wants to give us a previously on Paws and Claws? It was a while back. And a lot happened.
I got you for the most part. I forgot to write the last thing because I was acting, not typing. So basically, we've all been doing shit. We had a little bit of a time skip. Excuse me, sorry. Eartha got some letters back from Siberia, specifically from Grushenka, telling her to join her for some drinks, some tea. Erasmus did some things for Mal and Threnody, but also trying to learn more about JP and the Claw of the Common Cat. Marius is being Marius. Really no, and nothing really for that. And JP was kind of doing his own thing as well. But specifically right now, JP was on a mission at some fancy house, which is actually like a Siberian outpost in Mao. He saw some guards. He got in because he's sneaky as hell. And he saw an armory or something. It was a trail of gunpowder going up some steps. So he followed that. Erasmus and Marius were in the area, and Erasmus did see the JP go in, but he didn't do anything about that. We do know that it's a storm coming in soon because it's always raining in Mao. We skip back for a second because Eartha heard a knock at her door, and it's a cat and some Siberian regalia, and she's like, no, close the door. And he knocked again. It was like, if the tea can be changed to some drinks, like right now. And it came from Grushenka, and this person's name is Rolf, and she's over it. She didn't almost invite him in, but she did anyway because she's Eartha. JP followed that gunpowder line to a door in which she picked, where he unpicked the lock, where he saw a room filled with guns and bombs and all these things, and he saw a cat wearing a white cloak and goggles, and he snuck behind him and put his knife to the net like, yo, what's up? What's all this shit? And he found out there were different vials. Each color meant something different. Green vials were acid, which isn't good, and it made things go like kaboom, and it burned through stone and shit. The orange vials could be added to weapons to make them like explosive, and the purple vials turned you into something, but it was a random effect and no one really knew. JP knocked the dude out and tested that theory. Bad idea. It basically turned him into this big cat mouse hybrid thing that also disappeared. It was fucked. JP took some of the stuff before destroying the room with the rest. Eartha arrived, and around the time that she arrived, and Erasmus and Marius seeing her, they all heard the boom where the big rat mouse thing that was phasing in and out ran past us. It was weird. We saw JP fly off in the distance because, he's doing his thing. We all ended up going into the place with Eartha and Grushenka because, Erasmus and Marius were there. So I just said, why the fuck not? What was I saying? Erasmus did note that he doesn't remember an Eartha Kitty, but he remembered a different name or something else, and she didn't answer. Grushenka came. saw them and had some wine. She's very fluffy, and she kept calling Eartha Tetia, which Marius didn't notice. Around this time, JP went back to drop off the vials where he met Harrow, but they found out that Emil hadn't been around, but doesn't know what that means. Potentially he's working or something's wrong. JP noted that. They had a talk with Grushenka about stuff, and basically the long story short, Grushenka wasn't really interested in war. Grushenka is interested in war. However, Siberian doesn't care about the unity. But some of that shit was a lie. Like Siberian saying they don't have resources. They have a lot of fucking resources. Some things happened in there that I didn't write down. Among those, Eartha did something and became the head of the house or some shit. JP somehow snuck back in and decided to almost attempt to kill Grushenka. And also at the same time was like, Mao attack Siberian, and Marius raged. He's not a barbarian, but he raged and he ran after JP. They had some words. It was revealed that Marius is definitely not who he says he is. And Marius wants JP dead, and JP doesn't care. He flew off. And that's kind of where we're at. I'm sure Honey can fill in the Siberian details specifically, but that was like the gist of it. It ended on a very chaotic note. I'll say that.
Yeah. And JP dropped a pretty big bomb on Marius too.
Oh, yeah. You know, he killed his dad.
There we go.
Casually slide that in there.
Look, I told you I stopped writing.
Anybody have anything else to add?
My notes, as always, are in Honey speak. Trying to make sure like everybody is testy, Rex, or why they want the bones, because the spirits of the dead rise from the bones and feast on the minds of the angry, which is what made Eartha a little bit more concerned about what people are doing. I have they up on the roof, passionate boys from the hood moment in the rain. JP like, that's why your daddy dead.
Technically correct.
JP poured purple rain on a science nerd.
Oh.
And made a cat mouse. We covered that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the basic thing with Grushenka and Eartha was a whole bunch of Siberian BS back and forth to basically say we only care about ourselves, but here's the tea. And Eartha is like, okay, but why y'all lying? And she's like, but we only care about ourselves, and here's the tea. And then Grushenka got shanked. Eartha could have took her out, but she was like, you know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to get some information. She basically got the information that she needed about the bones and so on. Grushenka was no longer helpful, so Eartha tried to be nice and kind of do a calm emotions to kind of lull her to unconsciousness because she had 1 hit point. But instead, she decided to be mouthy, so Eartha just hit her in the head so that she would fall asleep. Walked out, told Rolf, you know, I just took her job, give me this alcohol, and she went home.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid summary, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Cameron's here. Cameron, tell us who you are and who you were playing.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Cameron Blair, and I play Jean-Pierre Cachet, a truly revolutionary cat.
And that brings us up to speed on the previous Paws and Claws. So 1 point of inspiration for everybody. And I'm going to say it's the next day. So Eartha is now the head of the Siberian consulate. She's like second to the dynast. Marius, or as we now know, Trista, is aware that Jean-Pierre has murdered his father. And Erasmus was, I believe, helping him with that. And let's start with Erasmus. What do you do with this news?
Yeah, so we're picking up the next day, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to say probably what's going to happen then is first things first is he is going to check up on Marius, because I don't know if Marius has had a word with his mother yet.
Nope.
Yeah, so before he does anything else, he's probably going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if Marius is at his place or like the actual Mao estate, but
He's at his own place right now, for sure.
okay.
He probably went there alone too after it all went down.
Okay.
Just went home. Very, you know when anger makes you sober?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much that. Yeah. So he was fine getting home. But yeah, he's at home. He's probably like in the morning up and either contemplating or he has some things, but it looks like he is packing up, for lack of a better word. Like, this place is no longer necessary.
Hey.
And that's what
yeah,
you see
then.
when you arrive.
I was going to say, Erasmus is just going to come up the way to the door in the morning and just sort of give it like a little knock and Marius, are you in?
Yes, I'm here. It's open.
Yeah, just open the door, step inside, smiling. I just wanted to come and check up on you. I know last night was very stressful for you.
That's a way to put it.
It is. Have you spoken with your mother yet? I know that she was concerned as to your well-being.
Did you know?
I did, yes.
Did you know who did it?
I wasn't certain, no. But I had a few ideas. Those ideas became a bit more certain once our acquaintanceship with our new friends was more, well... No, I didn't know.
I'm going home.
I gathered. I was afraid you were moving away with all the packing I see going on in here.
Oh, I had a thought. Potentially. Just get out of town, right? But then he wins.
I'm sure that your mother would be very upset if you just left without a word, and I hope it goes without saying that I would be as well.
My mother was upset that I pissed on the floor. She gets upset of anything.
And you're not wrong about that. So, not leaving, returning then.
No, not necessarily returning. But I do need to talk to her. I need to... My conversation with her will decide if I'm returning or if other actions are required.
Other actions such as...
When a hand is dealt for you, you do what you need to do. I have never wanted to stand up to her, but it looks like I need to at this point, because every second I don't, every second she's unaware, every second I decide to sit back, another common cat destroys what my father wanted. And though I was too chicken shit back then, I don't know, call it a a gust of wind, call it destiny. I don't fucking know, and I don't really fucking care. But I need to talk to her and let her know that if I do come back, things will not be as they are. Or things can change, up to her.
Marius, you can't imagine how pleased I am to see this gust of wind, as you call it. Makes me very happy to see you stand up for yourself. Perhaps, though, would it not be better to wait a day or two to truly sort through what you are feeling?
I've waited for years. And every day I wait, something happens. So no. No point to wait at this point. I was going to have to get my shit together at some point, right? So.
If you think it is wise, I cannot stop you. Should I let your mother know then that you are coming?
Nah. I'll see her. Though if you have other plans, I can't stop you.
I have a bit of business to attend to this morning, but I just wanted to make sure that you were doing all right. And I can see that you are doing more than all right. You are prepared to take a stand.
Eartha,
And as I said,
call it.
sorry. Eartha,
No,
what are you up
mumbles. Is
to?
that what they call it?
How was your first day as representative going? Or what do you do on your first day as a representative?
First day of representation, she went back to her house to just rest, and she sent all the alcohol out to various servants and so on of the house she just left. You know, she made sure it went to the people who normally wouldn't have access to the most expensive stuff. Then she went home, probably woke up and went, "What did I do?" Went back to sleep, and is probably still in bed, but with quite a few maps and books and her quills out and so on as she starts going over information based on everything that she had gathered. And yeah, she's just kind of in that situation. Rolf keeps getting like notes that she's sending by messenger. Like, okay, this right here, this has got to go. Why are you spending money on nobody needs this. Nobody has ever needed this. This is so out of season. Like, she's just got these messages constantly going to Rolf about finances and giving people time off and paying to get the blood cleaned out the room where Krishanka got, shot. But she has not left her house because she does not want to.
Okay. And Jean-Pierre, what are you up to?
Well, was Jean-Pierre able to find a meal?
No.
Then trying to find a meal and trying to find out what happened.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, actually. Or a charisma check.
They're the same. So.
Okay.
10.
Okay. So you aren't able to find out exactly where he is, but you know that he had been delivering pamphlets and talking to new recruits in the army of Mao when he went missing.
Yeah. definitely would take his time thinking about it, not with Harrow, not talking about it with Harrow, but just being in the rat's presence.
Okay. Do you think he got arrested?
No, we would have heard if he was arrested.
Are you sure? Things
No.
are locked up tight. He could be in some military torture chamber and we would have no idea.
Well, I suppose that is why I am here, no? So,
Told him not to go to the front lines.
or what do you expect of us? That's the only way we will be able to get the people with us.
You know, a martyr for the cause is not a bad thing, Jean-Pierre.
No, it's not.
If they want to
It's not.
execute him, it doesn't hurt us. I like Emil.
Wait.
I like Emil a lot, but
I am in agreement with that. So I will go see if I can figure anything out with our connections at the constabulary. And I will come back.
be safe.
No,
Take some bombs.
that I will do. Jean-Pierre will take a few.
Okay. He gives you some of the
Then-
exploding ones.
And then we'll head out.
Okay.
Going to try and find where Emil has been taken to.
Okay. So heading to the constabulary, that you're going to the military prison or like the general prison?
The general prison first,
Okay.
and then the military prison. The general prison, I'm not really afraid of them.
Yeah. And I assume you
So
have like
do
cats on the inside there anyway.
probably, most likely, and then check with them, and then move on and say, okay, now it's the military prison.
Okay.
We have a few people there, but they're not as high up as we would like.
So Erasmus, you were going to Threnody or you were going to run an errand first?
I was going to run an errand first,
Okay.
especially seeing as Marius might be on his way to speak with Mother Dearest, so Erasmus is steering clear of that conversation.
Okay. Marius, are you on your way there immediately or later?
You know.
Okay. So, Marius, when you arrive, the guards are pretty surprised to see you.
I would stop in front of the place. I wouldn't go in just yet. And I
Okay.
kind of just like scope it over. You know, kind of one of those things when people come back from like, in like movies, they come like from off the plane and they get out of the car and they like scope out their house again, like, oh, I've missed you. But it's not really a happy scope. It's more just like okay. Yep, here we are. Cool. And I would, if I see the guards looking at me, I would say, where's the dynast?
Oh, sir, she's, well, it's, the morning and she's preparing for, her breakfast. Sir, your highness, sir, are we, sir?
Great. I will walk past them and I will head into the house or head into the place.
Okay. Heading up.
He was like, what is it? It's not necessarily a house, it's a place, whatever.
It is kind of like a really big, it's like a mansion.
Like a mansion, yeah.
And you see the guards and servants kind of like whispering about you. But you know exactly where you're going. You pass these elaborate statues, portraits of Trillian, maps, like paintings of dogs and cats holding paws, and a lot of art expressing unity. Mm-hmm. Until you arrive at the sitting room outside your mother's bedroom, which is where she takes her breakfast.
As I get to I assume it's like an archway versus like having a door. Yeah.
I mean, there would be a door to get into the area.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wanted to give you the option to knock or kick it down or whatever you wanted to do.
Cool. Gah! No, he's angry, but he's not a barbarian. He would stop at the door, kind of listen, and knowing that is she in there? Mm-hmm. Yes, keen. He has been really good. He goes. He would have stopped and like dropped the stuff off that he brought as well. And then he would knock on the door.
Here's that, I don't take visitors before breakfast. Madeline, see to that. And you see a young, well-dressed little Persian cat open the door. She goes, oh. And then kind of backs away from you. And you see your mother sitting there at the breakfast table.
I would look at the cat, Madeline. So I haven't seen her in a while. I feel like she would probably recognize her at least. Probably when she was younger too. I go, so you've grown up, still in service to my mother.
Welcome home, sir. And then curtsies.
Can you give us some privacy, please?
Yes. And she actually gets down on all fours and scampers away. She is so keen to be out of here. Your mother is sitting in like a state of half dress at this point, like corseted, full skirt on, but not with her like overdress. Kind of pauses with her mimosa in hand. She says, Tristan, at last. Come, my son.
I would simply just close the door behind me. I wouldn't really go too close. It's been a while.
And now you're home.
Are you more excited about me being home or more excited that your heir's back? Just curious.
They're the same thing, darling. Now, please, I can't possibly eat all of this, and you know that Madeline gave me cantaloupe, and I despise cantaloupe. So please, eat up. Eat all the cantaloupe you want. You can even have some prosciutto with it.
Does the door lock from the inside or the out?
It locks from the inside.
Cool. I lock the door. So, well, I found out who killed my dad.
Well, it was barbarous thugs, wasn't it? From dogs, I believe.
No. You're the, he takes one step closer. You're the dynast of the greatest house in the monarchies.
And now you're home. And once we get this silly war business over, I can train you.
You're the dynast of the greatest monarch, and you didn't know who killed my father.
Well, I certainly didn't arrange it, if that's what you're implying.
Oh, no. I don't think you are that ballsy. No.
Please, there's no need to be vulgar. I've barely finished my tea.
It was a simple cat. A cat with a crossbow or a bomb. I don't know. Whatever he decided to use. Someone sparking revolution. And I decided to go for the one person who actually attempted to change this place. That's cool.
You know, the peasants are always going on about revolution, but now that we are together, all the dynasts under one house, one rule, one paw. And that is what I give you, my son, and your home. You're done with this silly, whatever your name you've been calling yourself by, whatever twaddle that was. And remind me to give Razzie a raise. He really did a good job. Oh, were you not supposed to tell? Was I not supposed to tell you that his job was to bring you back home?
He pauses for a second.
You know, I'm surprised he's not here with you, but I do appreciate this. It's rather subtle of him. He's a sly little lizard, isn't he? I bet you think you had this idea all on your own.
No. Erasmus does his job very well, apparently. Question. I'm home now. It's time to get some things done. However,
yes, hopefully you'll learn better than to make friends with servants. They always know where their money comes from. Erasmus is a very sweet lizard, but he is help.
If I'm the heir of the throne, when do I actually become the dynast?
Well, I suppose once you're ready and I, abdicate, then it would be you. Although, of course, in case of an unfortunate death. But, that's only happened every so often. Trillian lived for a very long time.
I take it a step closer. When did you become dynast?
Oh, well, you know this story.
I know, it's a good bedtime story.
Your aunt, after many years of uniting the monarchies, eat your melon, dear, eat your melon. I don't want any, but they did work quite hard for it. Lay down on her bed, and I was the closest relative. It is strange going to a niece, but it's not unheard of.
On this table, there's melon, and I'm assuming little glasses of things. Is there anything that's sharp?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I will pick up a fork, and I'll pick up a stab piece of the melon or something, and I'll pop it in my mouth.
Okay.
I'll pop it in my mouth as she's eating. As she's telling me the story. Yeah. And how did the monarchy take it once you took over? I just want to know what to expect when eventually that becomes me.
Darling, you have years to think about this, and it's so boring anyway. I mean, with me, they had
I would like to know, Mother. If you want me back.
You've learned some sass out in the wilderness, haven't you? That will go very well in the Dynast Council. Well, for me, they really did have to ascertain that I was her closest blood relative, which was rather easily done, edges smoothed over and all of that. And, but with you, everyone knows.
Sorry.
Do you want to hear this story or not, Tristan?
This was out of character.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. In the sitting area, I assume there's pictures and stuff on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe Trelawney or Trinity or probably even me or something.
Trelawney, there's one of, you and your dad and her, and you're like a little kitten.
Is that behind where she's sitting?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I take another melon and I walk over and look at that picture as she's talking. Sorry.
Okay.
Continue the story. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was wait, I never asked how the room looked.
Yeah, there's like a little small table of food that has I always want to call it like a skirt. It's a tablecloth. It's a long, fancy, lacy pink tablecloth. And there's like blue walls, lots of colors from all the houses, but specifically family portraits in here. There would be like a family tree, and then all those kind of like tacky art of like still lifes of breakfast food.
Oh yeah.
And,
of course. Every place has that. Yeah.
And like a steel coffee pot and a steel teapot that are on a side table. She goes, well, you know, once they already know that you're a blood relative, so it would be rather easy, actually, but this is a long time away. We have so much catching up to do. I do want to hear about everything that you've been doing. Well, I do want to hear about the highlights of what you've been doing. If you want to just tell me what those are, and we'll finish up breakfast, and then we'll have your... Oh, we need to plan a ball. You know, I've heard that singer, Eartha Kitty, is back. Perhaps we could hire her to sing. You know, she was there when Julian made a mess of himself and nearly embarrassed the entire house, but that's neither here nor there. He is fine now, and you are home, and we don't need Julian to represent us anymore. So we can invite all of the houses, and then maybe after this little war thing is over, and put everything to bed, reintroduce you. Get everyone on board.
Was making my life a living hell part of you grooming me to be the best heir possible? Or was that just a personal preference?
There's no need to be dramatic. You had everything a kitten could want.
That wasn't dramatic. My voice was pretty monotone.
There's no need for exaggeration, Tristan, dear. Now, anything you wanted, you had.
And yet...
Toys, governesses, playmates. I did hire you the best playmates.
You've hired everything from me, apparently.
I'll need the best for my baby little kitten.
All right. I will walk back over to her and like put like a hand on her shoulder.
She'll put her paw in your paw.
You know, the least you could do is stand up. I haven't hugged you since I was, well, not filthy.
Well, honestly, darling, it would be traditional for you to come and kiss my ring, but, you know, I thought since you had burst into my breakfast chamber, we were doing away with courtesies, so welcome home, love.
Once she pats my paw, my hand is still on her shoulder, right?
Yeah, you haven't said your paw's left her shoulder.
Yeah, no, it is. No, okay. And I say, I mean, the least you could do is hug the last thing you'll see, and I reach down to strangle her.
Oh, shit!
I choke hold with the gripping of the gauntlets that I have right now.
Give me a strength or dexterity check to do it quietly.
I can attempt to do that.
Don't forget, you get your bonus attack.
That's a 17 on the die, so that makes that a... it's just strength, not plus proficiency, anything, right? Was it an attack, or is it...
Yeah, you can do an attack.
Oh, then that's a 28.
Okay. Yeah, you know what you're doing.
And as I'm just holding, hopefully she's quiet, I actually look at the picture of me on the wall in my regalia as Tristan.
Okay.
And if it's done, I look at that picture and go, "Help! The help has killed my mother! guess, go in screaming, attempting to make this as, what's the word?
Taking a page from
easy.
Jean-Pierre from last night.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. And we're going to leave that for a moment. And go over to Jean-Pierre. You had heard from the prison that you do get confirmation talking to your cats on the inside that Emile is being held at the military prison, and to go quickly because they're bringing in someone to question him.
Okay. We'll go running along the rooftops, staying as hidden as possible, and then make my way to the military prison.
Okay. How are you going to get inside? Or are you going to stay and just scope it out for a bit?
What does the military prison look like?
It's on the outskirts of town, so it does take you a little bit to get there. It is stone and kind of small. You get the idea that a lot of it is underground. Okay. But there's the Mao flag, and there's, instead of like guard uniforms, obviously there's soldiers outside on the roof at every door. And outside you see like battalions and formations. You would get the idea that you're close to the barracks, but not like right close to the barracks.
What sort of guards are on the military prison?
Armored cats. They don't look like knights. They look like they'd be in leather armor, not like plate mail.
Okay.
Given what you know about like the way the military is run, you would guess there's probably a sorcerer here or something, but maybe not on guard duty.
Yeah.
But you know they're in the military.
Right. So I'm just thinking about entrances to this small stone building. Are there any windows? Does it look like there's a roof? Is it just doors?
There is a roof.
Okay.
There are not windows.
Okay.
And there is a large front door. But it's very guarded.
Okay. Yeah, Jean-Pierre will fly up as much as he can safely.
Okay.
Fly over the military prison and drop as stealthily as he can and safely to land on top of that roof. Oh, of course. Absolutely.
I know you were going to do it.
25.
You are so sneaky, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see the guards patrolling, but you are so used to this, you do not hear, you hear them, they don't hear you.
No.
It's not even the Skyrim, like, must have been my imagination kind of thing. It's like, they do not notice you.
Okay. So I'm on the roof of the prison now?
Yep, and you see a door that is open, going down.
And there's no one next to the door?
Nope. They're circling the outside, like looking down.
Yeah. All right, so if they're not looking, I'm just going to crawl in through the open door and be on the ceiling.
So crawling down, looking around, you see that the higher level prisoners are like, they're kept according to how dangerous they are.
Mm-hmm.
So like drinking on watch would be like first level, like,
yeah.
But like trying to blow up Parliament would be like in the basement.
Yeah.
So, considering how much they know about Emil, he might be in the bottom. He might be closer up to the top, depending on how much they've gotten out of him.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jean-Pierre will just start to stealthily descend to try and get down to the lowest he can.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Sure. That is a 19.
Okay. So going down about 3 levels, you hear, amidst the, like, general moans of discomfort, coming from a room, you hear screams and cries that could be Emil, as well as a familiar voice. Erasmus, what are you saying?
At the moment, he's probably just hearing him say something along the lines of, "Oh, come now, there's no need for that. It was just a simple question."
Jean-Pierre will continue going down to the bottom.
Okay.
And once at the bottom, we'll start unlocking every door and then go up a level, unlock every door, and just proceed.
Okay. So you're letting all the prisoners out first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You trying to start a riot? Are you telling them anything?
I'm saying the time is now. Your freedom is in your hands, and it lies in the throats of the military guards here.
Okay. Some of them are eager and, like, run out and start yelling, causing a ruckus. Some others, like, you're gonna get everybody killed. I was just trying to... I got caught with weapons. I didn't have anything to do with this. You're gonna cause a ruckus. I'm gonna stay right here.
Very good. Jean-Pierre won't do anything to them.
Okay. But you get about, I'd say, 2/3 of the prison to run out, and you suddenly hear alarms going, and guards start running. As prisoners take back their freedom with vigor. Erasmus, how do you respond to hearing the alarms and the shouts from outside the door?
I think for now, he is actually going to stay here.
Okay.
He is going to take a brief check and see what is happening. But he's waiting in this room.
Okay. You see a lot of prisoners running free. And give me a stealth check or sneak check to see if a guard notices you.
Notices me?
Yeah, in the commotion.
Sure.
To try and grab you in to help.
Oh, it's not bad. God, I so very rarely sneak. That's dexterity, right? Plus.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's 18.
Okay. Yeah, no, they are way too busy with everything going on that they don't even notice that door opens. You just see the
peek
guards.
out the door, be like, it's probably fine. But yeah, yeah, staying here for now because that is not why I'm here.
Okay. And Jean-Pierre, unlocking these doors, going level by level, you eventually get to a level in the middle. That same room where you heard shouts and Erasmus.
Yeah, so Jean-Pierre will take out the large crossbow. And it's like barred room, right? Or does it have any sort of hole at all?
This is a, like, wooden steel reinforced door, so there's no window in here.
Okay. I'll grab a few of the prisoners and ask them if they can help me. I freed them, so hopefully they help me. I'll unlock the door.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm pretty good at that.
We're going full revolutionary.
Brothers. That's a math 20.
A math 20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you get about 4 guys to go with you.
Yeah, so I unlock the door and I tell them, wait. And with my cloak, I'll float and stand above on the wall above the doorway and hold the crossbow. Once they open it, I'll peek in through the top and shoot Emil twice.
Hey.
Okay.
Nice.
I was going to give you advantage on this, but you have advantage anyway because Emil is tied up, don't you? Yeah, so just
he's not moving.
Roll a hit in. In case you get a nat 1 or something.
That's over 20 to hit for the first one, and I think a 15.
Yeah, you hit him. Yeah. And he goes down.
Tragic.
Yeah.
Tragic. I assume that I can look up when this happens.
Oh, yeah, you absolutely see this happen.
Okay, yeah. So basically what I see then is I hear the commotion outside. I hear the door unlock. I see it open. And then I just see Jean-Pierre just be like, hello. Pop Emil on the table, right?
Yep.
Is Emil dead?
Yep. Actually, roll me some damage, Jean-Pierre. I know you do a lot of damage, but maybe you'll get ones on all those dice.
You got it.
Maybe he gets really lucky.
I'm using the big one. Yeah, that's right. It's 14 for the first one.
Okay.
And 15 for the second one.
Yeah, that's a
spicy.
Deceased kitty.
All right, yeah. Then seeing this
You had
poor
24
revolutionary cat get shot.
points.
I'm just going to look at Emil for a sec, frown, look up at, because you said JP was hovering upside down, like peeking in through the door.
Yeah, so
this is some Rainbow Six shit he's doing.
That's like your new specialty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Look down at the cat, frown, and then look back at JP and says, well, that was terribly rude. We were waiting for you anyway.
I figured as much. And then fly away.
I'm going to attempt to at least keep up with him for a moment and call after him and say, Jean-Pierre, I had an offer for you, if you're willing to hear it.
We'll stop behind the 4 or 5 other cat-free
The burly wall
prisoners.
of prisoners.
Yeah. And say, hey, you're on a time clock.
Yes, I can see that. You've certainly run amok. Well, I'm going to just slowly close the door behind me with Emil dead inside. I was hoping that you would come to see him so that we could have a word, but seeing as you have now dealt with him, as I said, a bit of a proposition. I think that we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
How much money do you want?
None. I am not a cat. I could not be called then a common cat, but you know the way things are in the monarchies currently, and you know, I'm assuming as much, Lady Threnodity's stance on the war, everything going on.
Oui.
And I know that while you and I may not see entirely eye to eye on everything, I believe we have at least some common stance, and that it is in the best interest for the people of Mao, if they were to understand the predicament they are truly in.
I appreciate you trying to reach out to me about this, but I have a good idea of what you're trying to suggest, and the answer is no. So,
why not?
All right. I'm not going to go into politics right now, where there is a riot going on. So,
very true.
If I see you again, Erasmus, I will kill you. So, if you have sense and hide, get out or join us. We?
Would it be considered joining you if I invited you into the House of Mao to finish what you started?
No, because I'm not that much of a fool. So thank you, but we'll figure things out. And
give him a sense motive check if you want. Let's say you can. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like JP has sensed all he needs to sense, but fair enough.
Yeah, I'll give a sense motive. It's pretty poor. Yeah, that's a 1.
You have no idea what Erasmus is going on about.
Yep, that's okay.
Probably fine.
I'm out of here. I'm flying out of here. Goodbye.
Yeah, in that case, I'm not going to stop him. I'm just going to watch him go.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the very, very unfortunate prisoners he has left behind, and just sort of sigh and go, well, you can't win them all. This is nothing personal, by the way, and I'm just going to deal with them.
Do we want to play that combat out?
We can. Even though these are prisoners, I feel like I win.
I feel like you win.
I'm willing to play it out if you would like.
No, I think I was just going to give you the offer if you wanted to, like, one-shot 4 prisoners.
I'm okay with the narrative here.
Okay. Then, yeah, you deal with them.
And then it's time to return to House Mao.
Okay. Eartha, you receive, as you are enjoying your midday breakfast, urgent news that there has been a riot of some sort and military prisoners are running into the streets. And it's unclear how much Siberian needs to be involved, but they're going to leave that in your paws. Marius, you would have received a similar message, but you have other shit going on in your house right now.
I missed that part. Sorry, I didn't zone out, but like I missed that one part.
Eartha just got a message that there's been a military prisoners riot, and it might go into the streets. So I said you would have received a similar message, but there's shit going on in House Mao right now.
Valid. Okay.
The moment Eartha gets that message, she is changing into her adventuring gear with the boots and her cape and her gloves, and she's sliding on her minimal but existing weapons, and she's fluffing her fur, giving instructions, because people who come to do their volunteer work or come to work for the day at her place, they know that there are emergency protocols, safe places to go in the house. And she is headed out. Strategically speaking, how far is the prison from the main city where it starts to hit like the common people and where the schools or like the places where people live actually are?
I'd say like an hour's walk.
She is taking whatever means of transportation she has at her disposal, and she is headed that way.
You're the representative. Yeah. You can take a carriage.
And she's probably giving instructions to these representatives they've never heard before that involve specific alleys, specific locations, going to find the people and relocating them to safer places.
Okay.
Because her main focus right now is keeping any innocents from potentially getting hurt by these riots and these people spilling out into the streets and the people escaping and all of that happening.
Okay.
More so because with that comes a lot of stuff. So she herself is headed towards where the prison is, to see if there's anything she can do to help.
Okay. Will you be watching the skies as you go?
She looks up quite a bit because why not? She's figured out JP can fly now because that's the thing he does now.
Why not, honestly?
So Jean-Pierre, you're not trying to like sneak out of there, right? You just went.
Yeah, there's a midst of it. There's a riot going on, military and everything. Jean-Pierre is just basically gonna shoot out of that door and fly out into the city.
Okay.
Like a la Superman bullshit.
Super cat. Yeah, Eartha, you definitely see him flying when you are going by in your carriage.
She's gonna stop the carriage, get out, look up. Because I'm assuming he's flying too fast for her to do any type of telepathic bond, and she just climbs back in the carriage and keeps going. Because if he's Superman in it, she can't cast telepathic bond that quick.
I mean, probably Superman out of the prison, but once over the city, slowing down. And
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he
like,
can only fly like 60 feet or something.
Yeah, 60 feet, 10 foot per second.
Yeah. So you could laser in with a telepathic bond on that if you wanted to.
I'm trying to see what the range on that
He's
is.
reached cruising speed at that altitude, so he's fine.
It's only 30 feet. So
Okay.
if he's beyond 30 feet, she cannot do that.
So that just depends on how high you're flying. Do you want to connect with Eartha, Jean-Pierre?
Yeah, if Jean-Pierre sees her,
Okay.
we'll float down.
I'm not even going to ask if you had any part in what is transpiring. What I need to know... Nope, I don't even want to know that. I'm going to go make sure that some of the businesses, the homes, the safe places are still safe. And handle that because, oh, yes, I forgot to tell you. I am now the whatever googly gunk of the House Siberian representation in the city because Grushanka had an unfortunate accident. So that's been on my plate. How have you been? How's everything? How's the revolution?
A big step in the right direction, I would say.
Wonderful, great, marvelous. Oh, by the way, they are creating a super weapon that feeds on angry people. So, the madder everybody is, the worse it's going to be from supernatural entities. So, that's what we're up against. It's a lot. Why did I come back here again?
I don't know if we have ever put that into words.
I swear on everything that is holy and unholy, if that music box starts playing, I will find the necessary deep, dark secrets that the super ostentatious house likes to explore, bring you back, and kill you myself.
That is the only way I would have it.
All right. Please do not die. Here we are again. Here we are again. And is there anything else I should be aware of, Jean-Pierre? Anything else I should be aware of outside of, rioting, revolution?
Well, you should not be staying inside of the Siberian manor. Just to put it there for you.
Good to know. Wonderful to know. I hope it's worth it in the end.
Freedom always is.
When we're dealing with things that are mundane, it's very easy. we start to deal with the things that are beyond the mundane. That's where the question of is it worth it really comes in.
The only reasons these things that are more than mundane are here is because of the monarchies. Because they want to bring these in to control others. Because they see themselves that they are owed the world.
Power is a tricky thing, Jean-Pierre, because when people fight to overthrow those who are in power, it's because they want control over their own choices, over their own direction. But once those people who are in power leave, there's always going to be someone else who finds enjoyment not in the freedom, but in the fact that they now have the upper hand. And they inherit, what is it at its root? The greed, the covetousness. That's where it all stems from.
This does not end with the monarchy. It was just the removal of the houses. I'm not that short-sighted, Eartha. So there's always more work to be done. The work changes after certain things are removed, but...
He said, the spirits of the dead rise from the bones and feast on the minds of the angry. Well, one thing at a time. We make sure the city doesn't burn down. We make sure that the age-old war of cats and dogs doesn't actually pop off for some asinine reason. And then I guess we find out how to do a mass calm emotion so there isn't an all-you-can-eat buffet on revolutionary freedom fighters. We've pulled off bigger jobs than this. I mean, not realistically, but objectively. Houses that shouldn't be broken into. To-dos that should not have been interrupted. But I have never been scared.
Whatever happens, Eartha, this system cannot continue.
Of course not. It's awful.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, the drunk cat. The one with the lizardy guard. Have you seen them?
The last time I saw Marius, we were yelling at each other from, he was on the rooftop and I was in the air. And I told him I killed his father because he's the prince. Oh, wow. And last time I saw Erasmus, he was in the military prison when I released all of the prisoners.
So when I said, was there something I needed to know? Okay, so fun fact, let me just bring you up to date. Did you say Tristan?
Oui.
Okay, so you killed my childhood betrothed fiance complicated situation's father.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Right. And decided to let him know that after an attempted assassination on Grushanka. Well, not attempted assassination. If you wanted her dead, she'd actually be dead. So you just decided. So probably not the best thing to have divulged last night, but And the lizard's in the prison.
Wait, I'm sure he'll make it out alive.
And so I saw him fight and literally hold down a giant snake.
Wait,
These are not giant snakes.
no.
If I have to punch a lizard in the throat today.
Oh, I told him to, well, he offered to let me into the House of Mao to kill the dynast. I said no, because I do not trust him. But, told him the next time I see him, I would kill him. So.
I almost forgot that, common day language in the monarchies was just death.
I did not.
Of course you didn't. And she's going to tell the driver of the carriage to continue to the prisons because she wants to make sure that any help that needs to happen to, not the prison, she could care less about the prison, but the houses, the businesses, the people that may be caught in the crossfires.
Yep.
She wants to make sure they're taken care of. And then she's just going to look at Jean-Pierre and she says, I guess I'm going to go see the dynast. I'm not in my finest clothing, but I look good all the time.
Whoa.
So.
Well, very well. I guess I will go with you.
Yes. Because this just got really complicated. Yeah, this has just gotten so complicated. I would not have taken over House Siberian had I known the drunken cat, the very sweet one that I was like, oh, look at this precious thing, was actually, the one that I left. We're not going to go into that situation. I did it wrong. I'm going to admit it. I was wrong, but I had to escape. I thought you were dead.
Wait.
All right. Anything else? Did you marry a queen and cap her in secret and then started a war with the mice people?
Eartha. You know I would not do that.
This is what panic looks like. And now I swore I would never become Ekaterina again. That is someone I left behind.
You do not have to become her again. Just because you are the dynast or whatever position you have now of Siberian does not mean you have to be her.
No. But that's the only that's the only one that they know. That's the only one who was taught how to get results. All right, let's go see the dynast. And bring down the houses, I suppose, because that's the thing that's happening. She's just going to start walking. That's a thing that's happening.
Do you mind if I lead you? I need to make a stop very quickly and speak with someone.
Oh, of course. Go right ahead. I have literally nothing better to do, seeing as war may break out at any moment. And that wasn't sarcasm.
I know.
Yeah, it's just... And she'll stay pretty close, to JP. Very, very concerned, watching his back. There's probably some wards going up as she hums softly under her breath.
Are you going to go with him on the pit stop or... Okay.
She's just going to stick to him like a shadow. Because she can't trust that more death won't happen. She's just...
So Erasmus, do you stay after you dispose or dispatch of those 4 prisoners? What do you do? Do you help the guards? Do you help prisoners? Do you just walk out?
Oh yeah, this day has been a complete bust. After tidying up Erasmus's, he's not here to play guard. That's their job. They get paid for that. I think he's gonna. It's seeing as this has gone about as poorly as it could. He is going to make his way back to the Mao estate and check up on how things are going there, because he was supposed to check back in with Lady Threnody after that. So
you find the Mao estate in absolute chaos. There are no guards at the front. But there are several guards behind the front door with swords in hand at the ready.
Oh, okay, cool. Then I'm going to go in. I'm going to stop. Gentlemen, is there something amiss?
Are you actually Erasmus?
You have 10 seconds to answer me before I am forced to prove that.
And the cat there with his sword out looks really nervous. Just goes, I'm sorry.
Now, please, what has happened?
The dynast, sir?
What about the dynast?
It was her. But Tristan came home and then he saw the servants. It was Melanie. Or one of the ones with breakfast. Her breakfast was poisoned.
There's going to be a long second. And where is Tristan now?
Tristan / Marius, what would you have done when servants and guards ran into the room and flipped the fuck out?
So as he started screaming, he would have reached into his pocket and grabbed a certain pamphlet.
Okay.
And he would have placed it underneath one of the plates.
Nice.
And he would have said, this was, who hired the help? And he's like pinning everything on the Claw of the Common Cat.
We have to get you to safety, sir. We'll take you
No.
We have to take you to the panic room, sir. You'll be well guarded.
I will reach for my mother, and like almost like pat her, and I will let them take me out. And I grab a drink to keep up the ruse of being somewhat inebriated.
Okay. And do you let them take you to the secure panic room, basically? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I say, if Razzie comes, tell him to come down here, please.
Okay. Don't worry, sir. I'll see to your safety myself. I've never let a Mao down, and I won't do it now.
Just let one down already.
So Erasmus.
Yeah.
Don't worry, sir. Captain Roosevelt's looking over him.
Very well. If you wouldn't mind, then please take me to him.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I believe he wanted to see you. Actually, do you mind if any gestures to like pat you down?
I'm just going to give him a long look. Take me to him.
Give me a persuasion check. Or
I'm going to make this an
check.
intimidation.
Or intimidation, yeah.
Yeah, we're not persuading this man. We're intimidating him. That is a 25.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry I questioned you, sir. This way.
Wait, is it? It's strength, right? For intimidation.
Yeah, it's strength for intimidation.
Okay, 25.
It is interesting.
Yeah, Pugmire's fun like that.
Yeah, I that's why I had to check. Cause I was like, I don't. Okay, yeah, but 25.
I don't have that, so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so he takes you through the sitting room with the kitchen and not the kitchen, sorry, the dining room where Threnody had died, past her bedroom, and then you see there is another portrait of Trelawney. And he moves the portrait aside. You see there's lots and lots of guards here. and steps through a hidden door.
Oh.
Says, "No, I'll be on the outside. Nobody goes in or out without my say."
Yes, of course.
I've even been tasting the wine myself, so to make sure that there's no poison from those common cat servant filth getting in here.
No more wine is coming in or out until I leave. Wait here. And I'm going to go inside.
He, oh, and sir, I've had all of the kitchen staff and the late Dynast, old ones, bless her name, brought down to the dungeon if you want to see them later. Her ladies in waiting as well, anyone who had access to our food.
And I'm going to pause for a second and just look back and be like, if you can find families and close associates, please do the same for them as well.
Families?
Of the servants. I would like to know whoever was involved in this.
Oh, I was so worried you wanted me to go interrogate the Angors or something.
Go. I want you to go up there, knock on the door.
No, absolutely. Well, even the kittens, sir.
I'm just going to give him a look, and then I'm going inside.
Okay.
Is it a nice panic room?
It is well furnished. There are cushy silken walls. There is a display of food here, like ham and dainty little pastries, lots and lots of wine. You see there's been like a nibble taken out of all of it. A lot of the wine and beer has been opened. And there's several comfy looking beds, as well as a desk with like a war room prep on it, like maps and writing implements, and lots of books.
Cool. Can I see Marius?
I would say Marius is actually, so like how sporadic and loud and drunken he was as he was coming into the room once the door closed, he's sitting at the desk. Like his head's down, just looking at the desk. There's probably like a glass of wine on the desk as well.
Then yeah, as I come in, I'm just going to kind of like glance around, see him at the desk, and just sort of lift a fist and just knock it against the wall.
This is going to sound like super ulterior, and I promise it's not.
Okay,
I assume I would have went down into this panic room once Daddy died as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Is this place soundproof? How much can they hear on the outside?
They cannot hear anything on the outside, but you can hear things because of the way that spells are set up. So you can hear what's going on outside. So you would know.
Yeah.
Basically, like, you have ancient artifacts of the old ones in here that let you magically see what's going on in various rooms of your house and hear, but it's a soundproof room.
I just had this same visceral reaction when you get like a quick save moment before a boss. It's like, would you like to save? I'm just like,
I promise this isn't what that was. No. But I'm just curious about like the captain because he's on the other side of the door.
Yeah, you would not have been in here when Trelawney died because she died of old age, but you would have been in here when your father died.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would have been young too. Mm-hmm. He looks over at Erasmus and, he did chill out.
I don't see why I would not. Marius, are you all right? Uninjured, I mean.
I am healthy. I'm great. My mom isn't.
So I've heard, and for that you have my deepest, most sincere condolences. What happened?
Got here. I blacked out. Couldn't remember a thing. No. I get here and I go to talk to my mom, and there it is. She saw the light. She saw a peak of the old ones calling to her, and when one final voice, she said, oh, I've always hated you, and she died. No. I strangled her.
You strangled her.
Yeah. You taught me to be strong.
I suppose that I did. I admit that I never imagined you would take my advice quite so far.
I could be very much not who I was right now, and I admit that. I probably need to go speak to someone about the things that I have witnessed, heard, and seen in my life, but right now that doesn't matter. What matters is I'm now unofficially the Dynast, and I can start to make change. Something my mother would never do, something that Jean-Pierre, though he speaks that he wants, doesn't really want. So I can at least attempt to start something on my own. And if I die doing it, that's fine. The question I have for you is, are you going to stay with me, or are you going to get paid by somebody else to go against me?
Well, I suppose that is the question, isn't it? Marius, and I'm going to take another step in and just kind of spread my hands.
He's not moving. He's just sitting. Yeah.
Though I was employed by your mother, yes, and paid by her, that does not mean that I did not hold both this house and yourself in some special regard. I don't think you need to worry that I might do anything to harm you. Though I admit, given what you have done, I am somewhat concerned that you might not believe me.
I truthfully don't believe anyone right now. If that means taking matters in my own hands, that's what I have to do. I am going to probably break down after the knowledge of me, killing my mother actually seeps into the thing called a brain inside my really small, fickle head. But until then, I'm going to get as much done as possible.
I see.
So there's probably going to be questions and wondering how it happened, and fingers might get pointed to the drunken heir who came back, and all of a sudden, Mother Dearest is dead. The question is, are you with me, or are you going to see to my and Mao's destruction? I just need to know if I have a friend or not. I thought we were friends. I thought we had a bond. And I don't know if that's true or not. So I'm asking you, not the bitch who I just killed. I'm asking you.
Well, I suppose, Marius, that depends. Or have we returned to Tristan?
I don't like that name.
Marius it is, then. I suppose, then, Dynast, that depends on what my position would be if I were to remain your ever-loyal friend.
The thing is, Jean-Pierre and I aren't that much different. Again, this might just be an adrenaline rush, and I might fail at everything I'm attempting to do. I admit that. I admit that might be a possibility. But I don't like the monarchs just as much as he doesn't. While he might be a common cat, as he calls it, I've lived through this shit, and they are horrible. Every single last house. I would first attempt to see who also agrees with me. There has to be someone in every house who agrees. I can't be the only one who has went through a hard life. And I can't be the only one who wants to attempt change. And once that happens, I would then either seek to abolish everything that exists or make a council include the people. I don't know. Change doesn't happen in 24 hours, but it has to happen. And with my mother, it wasn't ever going to happen.
Yes, and on that I agree. And these are very grand goals that you have. And I'm going to just sort of drift towards one of the side tables and just not like drink one of the cups of wine there, just sort of like pick it up and just toy with it for a second. I am, however, more concerned with the more immediate effect, which is to say, if I choose to remain by your side and help you with this, do I maintain both your confidence and my position within the House of Mao? I too have lived a very hard life, Marius, longer than yours, and I have worked very hard to get where I am now.
We would never say this, and though I miss him so, you were like a second father to me. So, I trust in your abilities. I would be silly to attempt to let you go. Because something tells me that as quickly as, I don't know, as quickly as money can become your best friend, I believe it wouldn't be your best friend without reason. There's loyalty to family and there's loyalty to self, and that also means getting paid, because if you don't, you die. I won't stop that. You could probably kill me. Well, it would be a good fight, but you probably could take me out if you really wanted to. Jean-Pierre, not so much. He runs. But I can't do this alone, and I'm hoping that you can see that I'm going to attempt to try and make the monarchs, or the lack thereof, what they are meant to be.
You know, Marius, I've said it many times to you before, but never once have I truly meant it as much as I do now. When I say I am truly proud of you, that sounded like you were actually threatening me. And that is an impressive change for you.
You know, I might be a drunken bastard, but I'm still a Mao. Mao gets shit done.
So it would seem.
So there's a dead cat in the other room. This is where you do what you do best, friend. Damage control.
And I'm going to say Erasmus stands there for like a long second before just slowly smiling and slight bow. The dynast is dead. Long live the dynast. And I'm going to turn and walk out and do some damage control.
So Jean-Pierre, where are you going on your errand?
Oh, I'm going to tell Harrow to
figured.
like kick shit into high gear.
And how do you? Are you okay with Eartha coming with you to your hideout?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Does Harrow know about Eartha other than that? Like, you go watch her. Like, has Harrow? I'm guessing he hasn't met her.
No. Nope.
Okay.
Harrow, it's time.
Who is this? You bring the stranger to us?
Oui. The military prison has been released. The prisoners are fighting against the military. It's time to activate everyone.
Oh, that's good news.
Oui.
And Emil?
Dead.
died for the cause.
Precisely. Dead at the hands of a Mao enforcer.
Ah, well. May the old ones look kindly upon him. I assumed you planted some bombs and some high-powered targets before you came back to me.
I did that a few weeks ago.
No, the ones I gave you today.
Oh, no, I have not used them, but I'm going somewhere where I plan to use them.
And you?
You do not question her.
Well, excuse me, Jean-Pierre, you bring strange cats here.
You are good at the bombs, I'm good at what I do. This is what I do.
Welcome, new recruit, to the claw of the common cat.
That's all, Emile. Forgive me, I'm sentimental. That is all, Hero. I am on my way to go stir up more trouble.
Tonight we drink to Emile.
Tonight we fight. And Jean-Pierre will turn, look at Eartha, and leave.
Eartha, for once, she does not say anything. Eartha's just like, she was biting her, like, and JP knows her well enough to know that she was really biting her tongue so hard from the moment he said, "Who is this?" Eartha's expression from him was like, but she's like, "I'm not going to embarrass you in front of your friends." But he got one more time to look at me like he crazy. He got one more time. But she just keeps it together.
And the two of you are heading to Mao.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she was going to get a bottle. She's pulling a bottle of expensive alcohol.
Okay. So you find it under lockdown, much as Erasmus did.
Oh. This is not good.
So, I was just instated as the head of the consulate here for Siberia, and I was coming to pay my respects and not introduce myself to the Diners, because unfortunately she already knows who I am, but to ask a few questions. It's locked down today.
You see a guard who looks higher rank than some of the others come out. So, I'm sorry, you don't look like Grushenka.
No, which is actually a good thing. There's been some changes. She failed to protect, well, basically an asset of House Siberian in her position, and they thought it best to put me there instead.
Yes, they do have a reputation for fast work. Well, I'm so sorry, but Dinos Threnody isn't receiving visitors today. She had a bit of a stomach bug.
A bit of a stomach bug?
Yes. So we are closed entirely. There is, we'll be reopened at some point, and we will have a meeting scheduled for you to meet with the Dynast. Could I get your name, please?
Oh, you don't know who I am. I always like it when they don't know who I am. It means I can make an introduction. And I'm going to need... Do I want to be Bean or do I want to be...
Kick his ass.
I needed to check Enthrall versus Detect Thoughts right quickly.
Got it.
Because it may be the same check detect thoughts. I can do without a check.
Yeah, it's to like delve deeper that you need a check on that.
Yep. But enthrall was...
Is it wisdom?
Yeah, but see, enthrall and Pugmire reads a little bit differently. It's more to keep them from attacking than anything else.
Okay. What is it that you're trying to do? Are you trying to do like a charm guard?
No, she's gonna start with detect thoughts because she needs to know if there's something that she can work with.
Okay.
And she's just gonna focus on it. My name is Miss Eartha Kitty, and who? And she'll look him up and down. Do I have the... Is it pleasure? Is it honor? Jean-Pierre, I sometimes get the two mixed up. Who are you? And she's going to use detect thoughts, and I need a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That is 13.
Okay, that fails. She's just going to focus really closely on him as she's trying to see what's flitting on his stomach. You said she's not seeing anyone today. A stomach bug, you say?
You sense anxiety coming off of him?
Mm-hmm.
As well, and you were doing the going deeper, yes. So the thought from him is, I'm not supposed to let anyone in. This is someone from Siberian. We can't let her see the prince in the panic room. And this is above my pay grade.
So
basically, you just hear then his
panic.
brain starts calling for Erasmus. Basically, he is waiting for further instructions.
So, she's got a stomach bug. She's not accepting visitors, but the whole place is on lockdown. All over some tummy trouble.
It's quarantined. We don't want anyone else catching a stomach bug. Ma'am, and he starts looking behind him. So have we gotten word from the room yet about how to handle the quarantine situation?
Find me Erasmus. And tell him Miss Kitty has come to call.
Yes, ma'am. And he looks behind him and just goes, well, you heard the lady. Go get that scrawny lizard out here. And one of the cats there goes, yes, sir, right away, sir, and salutes and scampers off. And Erasmus, what are you doing for damage control?
Being scrawny, I guess. Essentially, he is doing what he does best at this point, which is he is 100% supporting Marius's story and also giving his own alibi to help support that, as well as helping put out any feelers / like he was doing before, gathering people up, finding suspects, quote unquote, that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay.
So you see a very low-level anxious guard that runs in and says, there's a ambassador for the monarchies, Miss Kitty. That can't be her name. Nobody's name is Kitty. She's from Siberian?
Miss Kitty?
Yes, from House Siberian. We told her that we were quarantined because of a stomach bug.
Is she alone?
No, she has her bodyguard.
I will see her, and I know the way. At the door.
Yes.
I'm just going to push past him.
Okay.
We don't have time for this, man. Yeah, and I'm gonna go out because they're out like the front entrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I am, just going to go out and see them. And who do I see there?
A very relieved guard, for one.
Okay. I'm just going to brush him aside, open the door, and see. Is Eartha and Jean-Pierre out there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to look at Eartha. I'm going to look at Jean-Pierre. I'm going to frown a little bit, and then kind of just... So should I start running, or...
I will give you a free pass this time. Unexpected.
How very generous of you. Miss Kitty, I hadn't expected to see you so soon. Can I help you?
Well, I find myself in a bit of a predicament, Erasmus. You see, now there was a guard I was talking to, and there was a lot running through his mind. Ask me, how do I know there was a lot running through his mind?
I can imagine.
Yes. And your name kept coming up with a lot of anxiety and panic. Now, either this was a unfortunate one-night stand, or there's something a little bit more severe than tummy trouble going on. Now, I really don't have the time, the patience, or currently the temperament to deal with any political BS, mixing of words, and all the rest of that. I've had a horrible morning. So if you could just tell me what is happening, that would be lovely.
I hesitate for a moment. Well, if you would like it in so few words, I'm afraid that, and I look at Jean-Pierre, it was a moot point anyway. Lady Threnody has sadly passed away.
Jean-Pierre leans over to Eartha, as it was not me.
Because Eartha has a moment where she says, "Oh, my deepest, dearest condolences for your loss."
Yes, a great loss for House Mao, especially as the prime culprit was, someone working with the claw of the common cat. Not your bodyguard, of course. He is completely innocent of all crimes, I'm sure.
Related to this, of course. Let's be clear, of course I am a criminal.
Oh, criminal, that's an interesting word.
But you can understand, Miss Kitty, it is a bit of a sensitive time for the house. Did you need something from the dynast? I don't know if he's taking visitors.
She says more sis. So I've bought this very expensive bottle of wine now. This is a very old, very, very high quality bottle of wine. The last time I had a bottle from this collection, I shared it with a... She looks around. Basically, if the dynast that nobody liked is dead now, then it falls upon me to introduce myself to the dynast who currently is now in power.
Ah, so paying your respects then.
And that's one word for it.
Oh, in that case, give me a moment. I will see if he is willing to accept any visitors right now.
Ugh.
And I'm just going to really quickly just step in and basically just send like a runner, like the captain from before, and be like, "Hey, knock knock, guess who's here?"
She's going to look to JP and she said, "Okay, so the story about the wine is when I just left, when I basically did the equivalent of becoming a ghost in his life. This was the vintage that I shared with him. I didn't drink any, he drank any, and then I was still learning my abilities and so on. There may have been a song involved so that he stayed calm, and then I just sort of left. So
Yeah, of course. This is fine with me. But just to be transparent, I believe that the moment he sees me, he will try to kill me.
well, you have that effect on people. You'll be fine. Everything is fine. It will be all fine.
Oh, well, of course. I hope you just don't mind, and Jean-Pierre will just start to float up.
Don't go higher than 60 feet. I don't have anything that can really...
Nope, I'm only 20 feet away from you.
Yes, because if I have to intervene and you're too high, it's just going to be like, just like...
Of course. Wait.
Yeah.
Marius,
we are doing this.
You hear a very heavy pounding on the panic room door.
It's open. It's always open.
It's never open.
I know that was okay. And I go up and actually open it. He never has really opened it. So he's like,
there's like 8 locks on the inside.
I guess I'm like,
And you see Captain Roosevelt standing there, and he says, Erasmus wants you outside. There's the ambassador from Siberian is here for wine.
With the bodyguard. He definitely mentioned that. There's air quotes around bodyguard.
I respect Erasmus, but I don't know if it's the day to be seeing other houses. Of course, she has brought her bodyguard, and I'm happy to stand at your side with a quadrant of guards to represent you. You don't have to go, sir.
You kind of see him just like phase out of existence mentally for a second. And then he... actually, this is a perfect opportunity, and it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. Unfortunately, I have to take matters into my own hand. Bring them both in.
Shall we set you up in the
Nope.
throne room, sir?
Bring them in here. Still a panicked situation. Trust me,
Sir, if you're locked in with someone from another house, I can't see what goes in on here.
Don't worry. Erasmus is here. I wouldn't say this if I didn't trust myself or Erasmus.
Well, I know your mother trusted him implicitly.
Oh, yeah. She did.
And that is the message the 3 of you receive.
Oh, good. In that case, I'm just going to wait for that, turn, look at them, and smile, and just be like, the dynast will see you. Now, if you would follow me.
Wait. Jean-Pierre is going to rig something up real quick and then land.
What are you rigging up?
I'm going to message you that.
Okay.
I should mention, given the state of things right now, I will have to ask if you could please relinquish your weapons.
All Eartha is going to do is she's going to turn to JP, and she's just going to say, cats do it, dogs do it, even educated. She looks at the lizard for a second. Mice do it. Let's do it. Let's stay alive. And she's going to cast Longstrider on JP, just in case he needs to run, which gives him an additional 10 feet for any movement that he does. And then she's going to turn to Erasmus, and she's going to pull a dagger out of her boot, and then she's going to pull another dagger from a hip sheath, and she's going to offer it, and she's just going to smile sweetly. And she says, I always find it amusing when they say relinquish your weapons. But darling, I am a weapon. So it's a little awkward, isn't it?
Yes, especially after all the damage you've done to my ears. Thank you for the daggers. And your crossbow?
We, of course. Jean-Pierre will pull out the big one and hand it over.
I'm just going to take that, shoulder that, and lead them in.
Are you passing them off to any of the guards, or are you bringing them into the room with you?
No, I'll pass them off to the
Okay.
guards. Let me just take these weapons inside the panic room.
Yeah. You see a lot of very confused looks from guards. You don't see any servants at all. That's something the three of you would notice. There are... It's odd for an estate this size to have no servants whatsoever in it, but it's a high stress time. And you are led past the breakfast nook, past the bedroom, through the portrait on the wall.
Yeah. And just going to give a little cursory knock before I'm just going to lead in these two. Dynast, your guests have arrived. Ta-da.
Okay. He is like sitting in the back on like the couch. He looks up at Eartha and goes, "Oh, hi. I hope you've been well." So you can see a little bit of house change, if you will.
Yes, it's been quite the 48 hours of just constant change. How Siberian got a new head, that would be me. But Krishanka, you know, there was all that stuff going on. She looks down for a moment, looks back up. Oh, and I brought him, and I just found him. I was walking, and he was like, "Hi," and I said, "Hi."
Are you
And
referring to JP?
yep, and we just came here. I brought wine for you, and my sincerest condolences from the position of someone that understands that it's sad to lose a parent. I don't want to be, insensitive, but nobody really liked your mother. So, condolences, if you want them. Congratulations, if you earn them. And I hope that you're able to better fulfill your house's motto of always act with honor. And she'll hold out the bottle of wine for him to take.
I will look and smile. I'm still sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
I will look at the bottle. I will kind of like stare at the bottle for a second. I'll look at her. That's an interesting drink. Haven't had that one in a while. I lost a parent already, so this one isn't as hard. But things must be done now. Are you here as a friend, or are you here as a member of the monarchies? That is what you are, right?
What I am is super complicated. But what I will say is I came here as a person seeking to get the information I need to better do my job. And between the time of greeting your very panicked guard, dealing with your tone-deaf associate of a lizard, and coming in here, I am now going to do my best to uphold the motto of my household, which has always revered the past. Tristan, it has been a very, very long time.
I fucking knew it. Then he kind of like comes back to himself. And then looks at JP. I assume you came in here with a death sentence, so I'm not going to spare that part of you. However,
I came in here with no preconditions of trying to do anything. I came here with Eartha.
That's one thing I do know about you. I know that's a bold-faced lie, but I'm not going to get into that.
Then you do not know me at all.
He told me what he did, and usually I would spin some kind of yarn about, oh, he didn't mean to, but that's a lie. Basically, you all can figure this out after we save the monarchies from burning down. I have quite a bit of information. House Siberian does not care about any other house that has ever existed. They only look out for themselves. Which means I now have all the information I need to show things aren't as unified as we think. I am willing to share this information if you are willing to, as I said, uphold the motto of your house and help us fix the problem that unification created.
The thing about that is simply whether the monarchs are unified or whether they're separate or whether they're doing whatever they do, their very existence causes chaos. Mm-hmm. I know that. I've lived it. I'm sure you have too. It doesn't take a lack of imagination to know what happened to my mother.
I might need some help here. I've heard tummy troubles.
I might be a drunk, but I'm very strong.
He killed her. I thought that was clear. I should have said something before. Because I'm the only one that the club of the common cats that has the balls to go and try and assassinate someone. And I had no hand in this.
Propaganda is a funny thing now. You'd be surprised who'd be rising up for what you said, and you won't actually be the only one causing as much chaos as you are. But that's neither here or there. The point is, I, as I stare at JP, want to abolish it all. Yes, there's a problem of supernatural chaos and riots right now. I've heard everything. But I needed this seat. I should have gotten this seat a long time ago, but as you even admitted yourself, JP, I was a weak person, and I might still be. But I did what needed to be done to create the change that takes time. So, yes, Ekaterina, I will do what's possible. The question is, am I going to walk out of this panic room alive?
And I don't know, you may try to strangle yourself. I'm really sorry, processing that still.
I don't need weapons, I thought.
Apparently. Neither do I.
Okay, now.
Yes.
Can I get that bottle?
I don't know if you deserve it. I mean, you could have said, like you said you knew it. I had no suspicions.
Look, it's fine. I killed my mother and you practically magicked me into drunken stupor, we're even. I'm not blaming, but the facts are there. If you say you want to revere the past or whatever your house's motto is, it starts with at least the dynast of Mao and the future dynast of Siberian, even if you don't want it to be. And then we can start dismantling what we currently control. Yes? Because however we want the people to rise up, we all know that that's going to cause more chaos, more murder, more bloodshed. The supernaturals don't give a shit whether we're civilian or not. So how about those with the power right now come together to stop the overall power, and then we can eliminate that power? Yeah? Or am I talking out my ass? I might be talking out my ass. I'll admit that.
No, your face is far more attractive than that part of your anatomy. Today has been a lot. I'm a very, very simple cat. A gorgeous cat, yes. A very talented cat, yes. I really just care about the people who don't have people to care about them. I've never cared about power. The only reason I'm in House Siberian is they saw I was fluffy and had a tail as they were trying to figure out what house I belonged to. I was abandoned as a kitten, left outside the monarchs. But now I think, in a way, whoever my parents were trying to protect me by making sure I didn't grow up here. And still, I ended up back here for my own good. So House Loyalty is a song that I know and I've learned to sing because it's always requested at gigs. But I could care less the name of a house. I just know that a house is not a home if it's not a safe haven for anyone who needs a safe place. So tear them down for all I care. But I will be here to make sure that you do it with the precision of a very well-sharpened knife, and not an explosion that will leave thousands in rubble that they cannot ever crawl out of. So, we're taught to always trust your instincts. We're taught to always pounce upon the minions of the unseen, which I think are just people who are just given to evil. Always reward loyalty. You have to figure out people's language currency for that, but... And to always respect an honest duel. And let's be honest, honor is not something that the monarchs respect or ever have, even though they drop it as easy as people do, like the cheapest piece of plastic they have. Oops, I dropped it on the floor. There's my honor. I want the killing to stop. I want the pain to end. She looks between the two. And I would like to have, at least, not anytime soon, but once this is all sorted out, at least a week where nobody comes to my house and says, oops, someone was murdered. Like, at least a week. That will be in the terms that I draft up. And she points over to JP. And then looks at the diners. If you can find a way to make this work, I would really, really appreciate it. But I will say this, everyone will walk out this room alive if I have anything to say about it. And she looks at Tristan Marius. What, before I tell you this, what is your name?
Until we dismantle whatever script you wish to flip, however you wish to call it. Until the things are changed. To the world, I'm Tristan. But call me Marius.
Marius. I'm Eartha. Eartha Kitty. Current representation of, hopefully, the soon-to-be dismantled back into the cold, desolate mountains that they love so much of House Siberian. And she looks at JP. And I left you once because I thought he was dead. That is the only loyalty I have ever known. So let's work together.
You are a master of words and emotions. You are I promise I mean this in a good way. You're a goddess of manipulation. There is a reason we were almost going to be husband and wife. Yep. But those words, however sweet you make them, however much glucose you sprinkle, they mean nothing to someone whose existence is revolution. So, Jean-Pierre, what do you want to do?
I believe it is charming and ideal to say that this change can happen with no blood. If it were that way, I would have tried it already. But as two people who grew up in a house know, they will not give up the power that they have. If you sign a law, or you sign a decree, or anything of those sorts. So that's why I've been doing what I've been doing for a very long time. I would be of no help to you in a peaceable transfer of things. So,
well,
because of this, it's okay. This is an open forum, like heard this old idea of a democracy, but I will step back. Personally, I cannot do anything about the collective of the Claw of the Common Cat. I will gather my resources and keep things together. And if you fail, I won't be there.
Two things. One is out of character. Would you mind if I sense motive?
Go ahead.
I have advantage.
So, Erasmus, what are you doing while all this is going on? Are you just kind of sitting in the corner taking it in?
Real talk? Yeah,
Okay.
honestly. These guys are all talking about revolution, overthrowing the system, all this, and Erasmus is like, move it along, folks.
That's a 26 for me.
He's fucking conflicted. Without saying things outright, he is extremely connected to Eartha.
Yeah.
And
like, I think I knew that from the jump.
and he means everything he says. At his heart, he wants to burn it all down.
Leads me to the second part. I am not my mother. And I'm also not my father. My mother wrought pain and suffering by merely her existence. My father did nothing. He spoke, but could not make it happen. We all know why. I don't want bloodshed. I don't want killing. I don't want murder. The key word in those 3 sentences is want. I don't want the blood of those who have nothing to do with this. Flip that. I don't want the blood of those too helpless to protect themselves to be spilled. But just like my sharpened claws, which are my knife, just like those claws wrapped around a Dinah's throat, and I watched as the life from her slowly dripped away like the last sippings of that good wine Miss Eartha Kitty brought. I do not care if other Dinahs die. I do not care if other members of those houses die. That might end up meaning I die in the end. But what I do want is for those who truly have been in my shoes, potentially in Eartha's shoes, to have a chance to right the wrong their family did. So you are helpful.
Let me propose something. I disappear for a week. You will not be able to find me. No one will. Except maybe 1 or 2 people.
Marius' eyes just shift both to Eartha and Erasmus. His head doesn't move. He goes,
After that week, I will kill every head of every family. That week will give you time to tell them to change. Give them that time to abdicate, to stand down, to make their decrees, do whatever they need to. If they don't, you have seen what I can do. Well, some of what I can do. But, as of now, from what you are saying here, you will not be on that list.
Erasmus, you're being quiet, and however much you don't like to have these conversations, I do listen to your word. What say you?
If you are seeking my honest opinion, Dynast, the safest solution would be to simply dispose of the revolutionary. But if you are not on his list, then at the very least, he will remove some potential rivals who would seek to interfere with what it is you plan, so that you can do your good work as you please.
I want something to be known. After this conversation is done, I will be drinking, but I am avoiding it right now. Then it seems we are of a weird accord.
Jean-Pierre will offer his paw.
I look at Eartha.
And as he looks at Eartha, will slide his other paw on his chest.
Are you in?
I just wanted to make sure you were finished with the intense part of the conversation.
He's not avoiding the hand, he's just looking at her for a second.
You know, so, because she's, I mean, this whole time, she's been back there kind of like side-eyeing Erasmus as they watch the two people kind of go back and forth. She's just kind of like, okay. Because Erasmus might be Tristan's backup, but whether people realize it or not, Eartha is really JP's backup in situations like that. If stuff pops off, she's ready. So she finally puts her paw out. And she says, I left a very comfortable position in Pugmire to come all the way back here out of concern for this one right here. So, if he's and I'm in, it's been like this thing. And she puts her paw now.
Oh, I thought you were. It would seem like a moment of like, you know, people think before they say something else.
I thought you were going to say like, now. Here's what I have to say.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, she's like, now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He looks at that. Looks at Erasmus. Looks back at JP. And we'll extend the paw.
Jean-Pierre will take it.
The good thing is, one, Erasmus is very good at what he does. Not just because he's paid to do so, but because he's really good at what he does. But as I am now, I'm a Dynast. Now that I'm the head of this house, my word means a lot more. So we will make sure that if this plan is to work, the claw of the common cat will just have been the ruse or the, the cover that the killer used to kill my mother. But it wasn't them. And we will figure out what goes on from there.
Or, alternatively, can use that as a catalyst to say, this is clear that the people want change. And that, coupled with the riot at the military prison, that these two events happening on the same day, within a few hours of each other, it's clear that in this capital city of the monarchies, that change is needed and is coming.
That brings us to the second part. I'm not the magician, but I know that it's powerful. firsthand. I know that one. Now that that is the route we go, that might mean others in power might make their own plays with the Sphinx and the Naga bitch and the other thing. So it looks like we really are working together, all four of us. And where the freak is that dog?
She's on her own business.
Yeah. I am so glad that she is on her own business right now. This would have been a lot.
Well
then, does that mean I get to take House and Gora down? Just take all the money and just play and have a... I really detest Isabella so much. I'm not going to say I'm going to have fun with it. I'm just going to say...
You find your joy in it?
Yeah, you murder people, you drink, I make and take people. Money.
That works too.
Anyways, oh God, how's Siberian consulate?
I think with this agreement with Paws shaken, so it is done.
Yeah.
So, a week. I will not call you my friend, but partner.
Oh, you killed my father. We're not friends. However,
precisely.
Working come back from that. Business partners, yes.
And
Very
with
good.
an agreement in place to make a better non-united monarchies, I think that's where we're gonna leave things. So I want to hear, we're gonna do what each, an epilogue for each of your characters. We usually do what you're thinking right now, but I'm gonna say, what do you do in this new world that you're creating together? And then where can we find you?
Yeah, first things first, at the end of this meeting, Jean-Pierre 100% confesses his love for Eartha, and says, I'm not going anywhere for that week without you, and just disappears into the wilderness outside of Rex down in the south where they first met, and does all that. And then after that week, Jean-Pierre continues the promise that he will not die, and proceeds to leave bloody paw prints over the house of every monarch.
Yay. And who are you? Where can we find you?
Who are you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Hi, everyone. My name's Cameron, or you can find me on Twitter at worldsmith_cam. This Thursday at... Fuck, I always forget the time. This Thursday at 7 p.m. Central is the premiere of my streamed game, Cyberpunk Red Ascendancy. It's been a labor of love of mine, and I'm super excited to get it started, and I would be honored if you join me during that. It's got a wonderful cast. It's set in a similar but different timeline to our own real life one. But I hope it will be a cathartic adventure for everyone to watch and listen. Yeah. So that's it for me. Stay safe.
I think we have to go to Eartha now.
We surely do. Oh no.
I think when all that happens, and they're coming in a week and so on, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Did you get worried? Okay.
You froze for a second and we panicked.
What is happening?
Eartha will admit that... Oh no! Oh no! Can you hear me still?
Yep, you're back again. Round 2.
Okay. Let's see. I think my computer is not a shipper. Eartha will confess to JP that in her entire life that she's always believed JP to be her soulmate, even before she knew what that meant. And it was probably a teary-eyed confession, including her saying that she's never had her heart broken because it has always belonged to him. And she's been really focused on dismantling things from a business perspective, using all her connections and all her this and that in the week to kind of give basically the new dynast basically, here's everybody's business. This is what you do. This is how we get this one. This is how we get this one. This is how we get this one, and so on. And then making sure each evening, during the week when JP is gone or when JP is out doing whatever he's got to do. See, I feel bad not leaving this like the last epilogue with Eartha without a song. But I don't have a spell to go with it. But the one that was going to be a spell in case there was a fight was all of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my limbs, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? And I am Honey, aka Honey and Dice. You can find me on Twitter at Honey and Dice. You can also find me on Instagram at Honey and Dice. There's just nothing there. I just didn't want anybody to take the name. I write games, I play games, I run games for people, and all in all, I just want everybody to remember to love your you. Surround yourself by people that celebrate your successes and support you through your challenges, and know that it's okay to not be okay, the same way it's okay to be okay. And that I love you.
Before we continue, can I just interject real quick? Do you pick the songs beforehand? Okay. I only ask because, like, I figured you just belted out every one of these completely impromptu every single time. Like, oh my God. That's crazy.
Hey, that sounds like Erasmus volunteering, so...
Sorry, Honey is just a very impressive individual. You should all give her accolades. Anyway.
Yeah, everybody go follow Honey.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Donate to her coffee, Ko-fi, Patreon,
just
PayPal. Just give her all your money.
Yeah. I will say for Erasmus's part, there are no romantic revelations. There are no eternal proclamations of love. There is no revolution that happens, no bloody handprints. Erasmus is going to stay true to the agreement he has now made with Marius as the new dynast and enact a quick, efficient, and brutal insurance that everyone knows who the new dynast is and knows that he is still working in the dynast's favor. So over the next couple days and weeks, he is going to crack down and blot out any opposition to the new dynast Tristan and make sure things are still nice and cushy in Mal. And every time he is going to see a member of the Claws of the Common Cat, he is just going to tip his hat and go on his way. Anyway, hi, I am Alan C. Johnson. You can, as always, find me at Narlo Jenkins on Twitter, where I do voice work, writing, and all sorts of other fun things. I do have some projects that are going to be coming out soon, but nothing big to announce. So I will just say it has been a pleasure playing with everyone here, and I hope they all continue to go on to do great things. And myself, because I'm awesome. But, you know.
It's true.
Myself, because I'm awesome. That leaves me. Hi. The weird... Oh, God.
That took a turn I did not expect.
Yeah. Marius, as the proclamation of love happens in his panic room, he 100%.
It definitely happens outside.
Oh, does it? No, you said before we leave. I'm like, it happened in the fucking panic room. That's gross.
When he said he had a proposal to make first, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Same.
Okay, well, that changes things a little bit. However, he does, once everybody leaves, and you know, Erasmus, so he stays around. Once everybody leaves, and word from a guard gets told that. Okay, question: does it happen like outside of the Mao house, or does it happen like in an alley somewhere?
Oh, outside of the Mao house.
Like, okay, good.
Out of there.
Yeah, well, of course. But still, I think before he gets back, he just has that wine bottle that Eartha gave him. He's like, you know, we almost was a thing. I'm glad we're not. But he does stick to his word. I will say that night, you would have heard him screaming and crying in his room because what the fuck just happened? But then he gets his shit together. And he does do exactly what he says. He starts to figure out who, firstly, in his own house is interested in him being a dynast, being the dynast. And if there's, again, he's very perceptive and he's very, very insightful. If there's anyone who doesn't approve, meaning they might try to do something, Erasmus is already alerted. And who knows what happens to them. But he starts finding out old friends from old houses who might believe in the same things that he does, and he begins a internal revolution within the houses, and doesn't do it that well from the jump. I mean, he's good at what he does, but he's not good at what he does. No one's perfect at what they do, but he does try, and I think the trying is what the people see. And he looks forward to whatever life is going to be like. He doesn't know what's next because we're worried about the monarchs. Once Pugmire finds out that the monarchs are being demolished, who knows what kind of things they're going to do. So until then, he's going to keep his seat until it needs to not be a seat any longer. And that's the story I did not expect for him, but that's what it is now. Hi, Omega Jones here, also known as Critical Bard. You can find me everywhere at Critical Bard. You can find me mostly on my Twitch, as I am I'm a Twitch partner. On Tuesdays, typically I have a show called In Unison, where I duet with someone in the community. Keep looking out for whoever's next. On Wednesdays, you can catch me over on Rock Punch ATL as we play Tampo, which is a Sina Una campaign. Sina Una is a new setting created by a team of Filipino creators, and it's fucking phenomenal. I'm very excited to be a part of this this telling of this very cultured story. On Saturdays, you can catch me in the mornings over on Open for Adventure as we continue on the Ashes of Asmarin campaign. It's dark and another character just got revealed and it's fucked. And on Sundays, you can catch me on my channel for Creature Collectors, which is basically Pokemon in D&D form. It's fucking amazing. I also want to give a shout out to Motherlands, who airs after us on Sundays. Motherlands is amazing. All people of color on this new RPG powered by the Cortex system. That's really me. I do want to say on the 31st of October, which is Halloween, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific, I will be on the front page of Twitch doing something in full Waluigi regalia, having fun. They are wanting me to showcase my community and me. So I'm excited.
What you doing?
So look forward
What
to
you
that.
doing now? What
I don't know
are you
yet.
playing?
I don't know yet. I just know I'm going to be in full Waluigi. That's all I know. The world will know soon. But thank you, and as always, for me, make trouble wherever you go, because it's up to us to shake this fucking system up, just like JP. So do it, and do it with gusto. That's me.
And I will do the goodbye for Baguette, who couldn't be here. Lynn has been going through some illness lately, so please give her some love. Baguette has been scrying, actually, on several of you and reporting back to her church, as well as helping out anyone in need that she saw. So wherever she saw cats and doggos and rats and lizards who were hurting or in pain, she's been going and helping on them, and also doing the best that she can to stave off the war effort by reporting on the things that she's seen. And Lynn also just released a game recently. She has a Halloween sale going on her itch page, so check out Bewitched and The Devil Baby of Hull House, which are both pretty exciting. They're cool games. And I'm Jess. It has been a friggin' joy running this game for 3 seasons. I almost said 3 years. I don't think it's been 3 years, but it's been 3 seasons.
I've been through, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost a year and a half, at least, though.
About
a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I can't thank all of you enough for joining us, starting back at Onyx Path and then coming over here. And I love playing with this team, and I love all of you for watching us. And this has really been a joy. So thank you all so much. Come back on Friday for 3 flings. And we're going to do a raid now. We're going to raid Salty Sweet Games. So stick around. They are playing Burn Bright. And yeah, wear a mask. Be safe. Be healthy. Be a good dog. Be a smart cat. And be a brave lizard wherever you are. We love you so much. Have a great night, everybody.